हेलो सर आप यस यस प्लीज लॉग इन करें, मैंने किया यस यस गुड मॉर्निंग सर, ज्योति हियर. हेलो
Audio. You are able to hear me?
या जस्ट अ मिनट सर. हेलो
You are able to hear me?
यस 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 टोटली सर.
You are able to see me also?
Yes, yes, we can see you, we can hear you so properly. There is no problem at all.
Okay, let me share my
Please, no problem. सर शायद से आपका भी नेटवर्क प्रॉब्लम हुआ.
network
हाँ,
problem हुआ.
yeah, now it's clear. Now it's clear, sir.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir, I can see the screen. But please make it full screen, sir.
Yeah, let me just.
Yeah.
How to approach?
F5 आप प्रेस कर दीजिए सर, नॉर्मली हो जाएगा.
Okay, okay, FY.
F5. Yes.
Actually that ये bottom में जो आ रहा है ना, इसकी वजह से मैं तो अप्रोच नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ. एक मिनट.
ओके. या फिर अगर आप सर यही इसी स्लाइड पर डबल क्लिक भी करेंगे ना तो शायद से वो हो जाएगा. जस्ट नो. यस या. या फिर स्लाइड शो कर दीजिए सर.
नहीं, वो स्लाइड शो के लिए मेरे को नीचे स्क्रीन विजिबल नहीं हो पा रही है. एक मिनट में वो जो एक बॉटल होती है ना, वो नजर नहीं आ रही है इसमें. मैं सर्च कर रहा हूँ इसमें नीचे पूरा स्क्रीन. यस, नो, आई थिंक नाउ इट इज फुल स्क्रीन.
यस यस.
So this are I wanted to check it. So now I think everything is okay from my
Yes,
side.
yes, and
Audio,
definitely.
audio, video, and this thing.
Screen. Yes, yes, totally correct, sir. It's
Okay.
it's
So
visible.
Jyoti ji, one thing, my company's name doesn't have council. It's a corporation. While speaking, you please speak because you are given in writing council. It is corporation, Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited.
Just a minute, sir.
Because whatever circulated through email, you have written council.
Okay.
This corporation.
Okay.
So
I'll make it.
I'll stop sharing and then I will come back 5 minutes earlier to 11.
No problem, sir. 10:50 पे को आप करिएगा लॉगिन, सर.
10:15
5
10:50 पे.
या
Okay.
10:55 आप स्टार्ट कर देते हैं, क्योंकि 11 को उसके पहले थोड़ा सा हम एक प्रमोशनल वीडियो जो हम शेयर करते रहते हैं एंड फिर 11 को हम स्टार्ट कर देते हैं, 11:05 को स्टार्ट हो जाता है.
Okay.
या
Welcome.
एंड इफ देयर इज एनी चेंजेस सर मैं आपको टेक्स्ट कर रही हूँ, मैं चेक करके जस्ट गिव मी करेक्शन, नो प्रॉब्लम.
Okay.
या ओके सर.
Only corporation. In place of council, it should be corporation. That's all.
ओके 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 सर. ओके
Otherwise, there is no problem.
ओके
Okay.
सर. ओके. Good morning and warm welcome to you all. I am Ms. Jyoti Karunki, your host for today. We continue with our Sadgun Sang Meet 109th virtual webinar. Our topic for today is maintenance management in medium and small scale enterprises. It shall be taken by Mr. Gajendra Jajpuria. He shall be covering types of maintenance, resource management, human performance tools, and failure mechanisms. And last will be followed by question and answer session. Let's quickly go through the agenda. Virtual inauguration by Dr. Sundar Kataria, invoking the blessing of deity, chanting of Gayatri Mantra, introduction of speaker, presentation by Mr. Gajendra Jajpuria, question and answer session, and last will be the closing session. A brief introduction of Dr. Sundar Kataria. Sadgun Sang conceived and led by Dr. Sundar Kataria, driven with a mission to elevate the quality, safety, and environmental awareness levels of industry. Sadgun Sang is a series of educative, informative events aiming to illuminate professionals on possible solutions to current issues of industry and economy. He is a chairman and managing director of International Certification Services Private Limited. His academic qualifications are doctorate in business management and mechanical engineering. He has experiences like Rajasthan Atomic Power Project, India's first nuclear power plant, RAPP at Rawat Bhata, Kota, built by Indian engineers. He has worked as nuclear scientist for 11 years and successfully completed and commissioned the plant. Engineers India Limited, first batch of engineers to develop Bombay High Offshore Oil and Gas Fields, Mega Offshore Complex Platform, trunk and submarine pipelines, underwater inspection and indigenization oil and gas equipment, etc. Det Nos Veritas World. He has worked for 17 years at various capacity for the certification of fixed offshore installations, submarine pipelines, onshore projects, and personal qualification. ICS. He is a founder of India's first certification or conformance assessment body established in the year 1999. It's a provider of total quality solution. Certification of Management System, ISO, inspection and testing and training qualification of personnel. He has received Lifetime Achievement Award for the contribution for the corrosion technologies from NACE International by NIGIS under NACE USA. Social worker, protection of life, asset, environmental and safety. Now I request Dr. Sundar Kataria to virtually inaugurate the session.
शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
Please join us for the recitation of the Gayatri Mantra.
Swaha, Tatsavituर्वरेण्यं
a brief introduction of the keynote speaker. Mr. Gajendra Jajpuria. He is a former Associate Director of Nuclear Power Corporation of India. His academic qualification is BE in Electrical Engineering. He has 37 years of wide experience in construction, commissioning, operation and maintenance field of thermal and nuclear power station. He has achieved outage management of NPPs arranged by Candu Owners Group at Toronto and by International Atomic Energy Agency at Vienna, Austria. Please welcome Mr. Gajendra Jajpuria, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Jyotiji, for my nice introduction. Good morning to all the participants. I think I am audible to all
Yes, sir.
and visible also.
Yes, sir. We can see you.
So I'd like to convey my sincere thanks to Dr. Kataria for giving me this platform to share my experience in Sadgun Sangh Meet of ICS. My gratitude is towards Professor Sudesh Sharma for motivation and encouragement to me for conducting this webinar on maintenance management for medium and small scale enterprises. In fact, as in the introduction, Jyoti has told that I am having experience in working in nuclear power station as well as at thermal power station. And I have worked throughout my career, except last 2 years in the project group. Earlier to that, I have worked in operation and maintenance, and I am having experience of maintenance. And I am of the strong opinion, or it is my knowledge of what I have worked in the maintenance field, that philosophy of maintenance will remain same, irrespective of the size and scale of any enterprises, organization, industry, or anything. Only thing, variation take place in the our strategy for the maintenance. That's what I will like to share. I like to share that thing. And during my today's talk, I am going to cover general aspect of maintenance management, not in detail, because each and every topic is having a detailed discussion. I will not like to go much in detail, but touch upon almost all the maintenance philosophy, maintenance strategy, or maintenance related points for explanation purpose and for understanding, for the easy understanding purpose for my topic, and giving a specific attention toward the medium and small scale enterprises. Let me just share my screen. How to enlarge it? Just a minute. Let me. I think it's only visible, not full screen. Let me bring it to the full screen first. Jyoti ji, can you help me to bring it to full screen?
Sir, I request you to please press F5.
FY.
F5. 5.
FY.
F5, sir.
Okay.
Or you can go to slideshow. जो ऊपर दिख रहा है ना, home, insert, animation, slideshow. Slideshow press कर दीजिए. Yeah. Just press this slideshow. Yeah. Now come down. From current slide, from beginning. हाँ. नीचे वाला जो button है ना. From. ये. उसके जस्ट नीचे आपको आइकॉन दिख रहे हैं, देखिए
Sir, from beginning left side option.
फ्रॉम बिगिनिंग लिखा है ना ऊपर, एकदम ऊपर देखिए लेफ्ट साइड में। हाँ फ्रॉम
Yes,
बिगिनिंग।
sir.
हाँ
Thank you, Sudeshji. Thank you very much for giving this
प्लीज। हाँ
tips. So as I'm seeing from the chat box, as well as thing that I can share that thing, today is the last day of this year 2022, and very shortly, within few hours, we are likely to welcome the new year 2023. And first of all, I like to give my good wishes, and I like to say that all a happy, healthy, and prosperous new year. So like previous year, by this time, my dear participant, you might have already prepared your New Year resolutions. And in addition to many other point in our nuclear resolution, generally people keep point related with respect to betterment of their health also. And list of New Year resolution normally start with that: we'll get up early in the morning, we'll do the exercise, we'll go to the gym regularly, and we'll do the morning walk regularly, jogging, we'll quit smoking, or etc. etc. Many things in our New Year resolution we used to keep. I hope audience must have prepared their New Year resolution by this time. And I want to understand from the audience whether this health related points which are considered as a good point in the New Year resolution, what may be the reason for that thing? Can anybody share this thing? Okay, why people like to keep health related point in our New Year resolution always, invariably? Can I listen from someone? I think what is probably is the reason that we want to remain fit and healthy. That is the main reason we want, because we don't want that we will fall in sick. And for that purpose, these all health related good habits we want to include in our New Year resolution, and want to continue with that thing in our coming New Year also. So anybody is sharing something? Acha, I want to understand what is a human body. I'm going to come to the maintenance topic later, but first I want to understand what is a human body. Can we say it is a structure? Yes or no? It is a structure having
Like machine, like machine.
organs. Organs means components, can we say? And whole human body work as a system. So is it a structure, component, and system? Exactly same thing in the industry. The industry or an organization or an enterprises, it is having structure, system, and components. And we want to keep that system, structure, and component in healthy state. And for that purpose, the role of maintenance will come in picture. So I like to go to the next slide. Before that, I want to tell very clear to the audience, please, whenever you feel, you can interrupt me, you can ask questions in between also, and you can be interactive with me so that I will be able to understand whether I am able to give my views properly to all the audience or not. So second part, now I have covered that thing, relation with respect to human body and to the maintenance or to the organization. It is almost similar. So what is the definition of a simple definition of a maintenance? Let me share with you. Monitoring the performance or condition of structure, system, or components, SSC, and carrying out certain tasks or activities in a manner sufficient to provide reasonable assurance that such SSC are capable of performing their intended function. Just now, I told you that we want to keep our body or human body fit and healthy. Similarly, for an industry or for an organization or for enterprises, we want to keep that thing in a healthy state, and it should be able to perform. The whole organization or whole industry has to capable to perform their intended function. For that maintenance role will come. So I started with that performance or condition. These two things, if we judge it, and then we decide our strategy for maintenance of that system, structure or components. That is the definition, simple definition of a maintenance. As I told, that irrespective of size of any industry or organization, the maintenance philosophy remains same. Here, I have covered a few points with respect to the maintenance philosophy, which we will be able to grasp it, and for that we'll be able to carry out our activities according to following with that philosophy. First thing is that reliability of a power system and components, reliability of the plant system and components. I want to understand from the audience what they understand by the word mean reliability. Can anybody share what is the mean of reliability? I want to interact with you people, and because reliability comes in picture in anything, whether your body should remain reliable, body should remain healthy, or your industry or your organization will remain reliable for keeping it healthy. What is the mean by reliability? Can anybody share it?
Continuous availability.
Continuous availability. Very good. What else?
Fitness of machine for their intended use.
Very nice. What else? So I think availability and fitness of the machine, two very good points have been shared from the audience. Now I like to say very simple definition of a reliability. That is, reliability is the probability that an equipment will perform its intended function without failure under stated condition for a stated period of the time. Two things I have covered here. Stated condition. It should not happen that earthquake take place and your system will work all right, because system may not be designed for that purpose. But stated condition is a normal condition. A normal environment is there, it should be able to perform its function as well as for a stated period of time. Anything cannot work for an indefinite period. So certainly we should be able to give that assurance by doing certain maintenance activity to make our system reliable for a stated period of the time. It should be able to give continuous service, say for 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, depending on that thing, we adopt maintenance strategy. So it's a very simple philosophy or simple thing which I have told, that reliability of a power system, reliability of a plant system and components, and reliability definition which I have told just now. Coming to the next philosophy, anybody want to share something? Okay, so next philosophy is the technically sound maintenance and engineering strategy can improve performance of an equipment and plant in totality. There are two things I have spoke here: technically sound maintenance and engineering strategies, which I will speak in subsequent slides also, subsequent my narration also. But our maintenance should be technically sound and it should be effective. And engineering strategy, how to operate that equipment as well as how to maintain that equipment, that engineering strategy is also important philosophy. I think someone like to share something? Okay, coming to the next maintenance philosophy is optimal mix of technology, processes, and people skill with properly aligned management and work culture. There are so many terms I have used in my this point number 3. Optimal mix. It should not happen something is very hi-fi, we want to do it. What is required, that technology only has to be utilized. That is the optimal technology required to maintain that plant or component, processes how to carry out, not required very lengthy process. What is optimal thing required to be carry out maintenance, and of course skill of the person who is carrying out the maintenance, very important. Now properly aligned management. Now I want to hear from the audience what they understand from this my statement, the properly aligned management. Can anybody share it? I would like to listen from the audience. Properly aligned management word in my statement I have given. Okay, here I like to share that what is the expectation from the management, that our production, our output, or our operation should remain uninterrupted, and we should be able to operate our machinery all the time. And of course, outages required for the maintenance is not acceptable in general. So the properly aligned management means they should be able to understand the requirement of the maintenance also, and given due opportunity or understand the requirement and give all time for carrying out the required maintenance. And maintenance person also should be able to explain to the management what is required, and he should be able to hear and permit them to carry out required maintenance. And last point I have covered in this point is that work culture. There is a one thing, chalta hai. That chalta hai is a if that is the philosophy adopted by a production man, operation man, or maintenance man. Operation man बोलता है कि थोड़ी बहुत आवाज आ रही है, it is all right, चलेगा ये. वो जो work culture है, that will spoil the entire show. So it should not happen. Everything has to be understood seriously and give due importance what has happened. So I will once again repeat this maintenance philosophy: optimal mix of technology, processes, and people skill with a properly aligned management and work culture. Next point is that effective maintenance program. See, we go on carry out maintenance, but still the equipment is failing, or system is interrupting, or machine is down. Then what is the purpose of maintenance? The maintenance should be effective. It should be result oriented. Then only it is good maintenance. Otherwise, there is no point in carrying out maintenance. And performance of the equipment or performance of the system should improve by doing certain maintenance. This is another very important philosophy. And next bullet I have covered that economical maintenance. Of course, money is a very, very important factor. We should not in such a position or carry out our maintenance, very costly maintenance, because required maintenance may not be that much costly. We have to carry out follow our all economy, utilization of the resources, utilization of the manpower, and of course efficient utilization. Not only money point of view, but efficient utilization. Then only it is useful or effective maintenance program or economical maintenance program. And next bullet is high standard of the industrial safety. Safety is the biggest thing in any industry. If unsafe work culture is there, in the culture I have told that if unsafe work culture is there, it will lead to some very big accident. So the industrial safety also should be taken care in our maintenance philosophy always. Last philosophy is environment protection. Environment is now is a very, very important point, and whatever waste generated or whatever our maintenance activities are there, it should take care about that environment point of view. And whatever the pollutant is discharged by the industry, it should have a minimal waste generation. So all this, whatever maintenance philosophy points I have covered, majority of the points cover in this explanation. Now coming to the next slide is the maintenance strategy. There are many types of maintenance strategies which are required to be evaluated based on the need of the enterprises. See, today's my presentation is with respect to medium and small scale enterprises. May not be very hi-fi or very big maintenance strategy is needed to give the required expectation from the maintenance department and to run the industry or obtain that required output. So whatever I am going to discuss, although it covers small aspect of the different type of maintenance strategy which are generally followed in the industries. First point which I have given here is the equipment categorization. Now I like to hear from the audience whether due importance has to be given for each and every equipment. Like in this room, there is a tube light. Like anywhere in the industry, there is a light, or there is a main equipment which gives an production and give an output. To whom we are supposed to give more importance. So it requires a proper categorization of the equipment. See, in a general, that category A is used to be given for we are not supposed to adopt similar maintenance strategy for each and every equipment irrespective of its function. So we are required to do the categorization of the equipment, and category A equipment, which equipment required directly for the core function of an organization of an industry. Say a textile industry is there, loom is there, which is giving output and final production. So we have to give due importance to that loom. Similarly, for any industry, there is a core equipment, core function, which require due importance. For that, we give category A. And now next is category B. Category B, which equipment which are essential for category A equipment. Like if power supply fail in a textile industries, what will happen? A lot of loss will take place. So to avoid that thing, some standby power supply sources are there, either UPS or diesel generator. So category B equipment which are essential to keep running category A equipment is called. I am able to explain it properly. Is it clear to the audience? Category A and category B?
Yes.
Yes.
Very nice. So now coming is the category C. Category C is all others. Just now I have given an example of tube light. See, if one tube light fell out of number of tube lights in the hall, if one tube light fell, whether it will affect the production? No, it will not affect. So these are some of the components, some of the equipments of any industry is run to failure. We are allowed to fail it, and we maintain it. So there are three categorization I have explained here: category A, category B, category C. Because I have worked in a nuclear industry, there is another here. There is another fourth category is there.
एक वेबिनार हो रहा है मेंटेनेंस मैनेजमेंट में स्मॉल एंड मीडियम स्केल इंडस्ट्री का, वो अटेंड।
I am not able to understand. Please tell me again. Hello.
Sorry, sir, you can continue, please.
Acha. Okay. There is some telephonically talk. So first maintenance strategy is the equipment categorization. It is very much necessary to categorize the equipment so that accordingly we can we can adopt maintenance strategy for that purpose. Now coming to the second bullet is driver cum mechanic pattern. See, you can understand, or audience, please share, what do you understand by the driver cum mechanic pattern? I like to hear.
Machine operator should know know-how of machine.
Exactly. Very correct, sir. Very correct. See, if we train an operator to carry out maintenance on requirement basis, like a driver, if he is a mechanic, a small maintenance of the motor car, if he is able to do it, It is nice. He need not to depend for the small things for very experted person. So for a small scale enterprises, this type of thing is very much encouraged. The driver come mechanic pattern. And here we have to give, or we means the organization has to give a good training to that operator of the machine for understanding operational aspect as well as maintenance aspect. And it is basically to expenditure incurred to train such manpower is an investment for that organization. Here that is very important. It should not be it is an investment, I should say. So next is the plant walk down. See, in an industry, there are two type of situation is there. One is who is operator or who is working on the round the clock shift basis for the main machine to operate it, and another is a maintenance staff depending on the size of the enterprises. So maintenance walk down and operation walk down, there is little difference is there. Maintenance operator walk down is basically focused to identify the environment that affect the system structure and components of a plant. What we understand from the environment, can anybody share it? Environment.
Condition around the machine.
Very nice, sir. Very nice. Condition around the machine like area housekeeping, lighting, ventilation.
The
or-
place where you live, work.
Hello.
Hello. So
Yeah.
the place where you live, work is
Where
called
you live,
environment.
environment.
Work.
Exactly.
Yes, yes.
Exactly. It is the same thing only. That where you will live, that unusual, see, same thing is there, that lighting is good, housekeeping is good, and ventilation is good. And if there is a some unusual order or temperature rise is taking place, that also is the environment. And suppose some small leakages happen, which will not affect immediately stop the machine, but that also should be seen and recorded during the operator walk down. And some abnormal sound or say abnormal vibrations from a rotating equipment, sometimes the fasteners are missing, which is not affecting immediately, but in a long run it will affect the machine or equipment. From this improper grounding, earthing, wire has been disconnected from the earth connection. So these all things are usually an operator walk down, they are supposed to see and record it. Now coming to the maintenance staff walk down. Maintenance staff walk down, these are basically focused on identify the equipment condition for a specific area as per their defined responsibility. Suppose somebody is responsible for a diesel generator, he will see in totality what is the expected parameters or what are the things very specific to the equipment, they will see it. So that is a different type of walk down recordings. So all the collected information, this data has to be, I want to understand, an operator is doing nicely that walk down, and maintenance person is also doing nicely a walk down. But if that is not understood, or that is not listened by their superior, or not understood that importance of that, whether it is a good scenario?
No, not at all.
Not at all, because the person who is doing walk down, they will also lose the interest in recording the thing, as well as the superior who is supposed to take some decision about that equipment operation and maintenance, they will also not be able to take a correct decision. So all the recording has to be properly discussed. Due weightage of the time shall be given by the superior to see that data or output of a walk down. So this is the thing which is to be taken care in the walk down. So collected information data to be discussed by the performer of the walk down with the respective superior and are to be highlighted for the corrective action. Because ultimately the superior has to bring in the notice of the management, and now this is required for the equipment outage. So that is until unless he used to see, he refer that data sheet, he will not be able to take a correct decision. Now next is corrective maintenance or breakdown maintenance. I think this is very commonly known term which any industry is going to face, and I think from the audience also they will be able to tell me what is the mean by the corrective maintenance.
The immediate action taken to remove the cause of breakdown.
Yeah, but equipment failure or equipment fault, whatever has happened, and this has to be attended. Means equipment has reached to that situation when it has failed to give its intended operation. So that is the basically it requires corrective maintenance with immediate attention. So whether it is a cost-effective thing, corrective maintenance. Is it a cost-effective maintenance? No,
No.
it is a costliest maintenance because we are waiting and allowing the equipment to fail, and resources has to mobilize it immediately to attend that thing. And certainly this is not a correct strategy to go or reach up to that point, but we have to. But it is a costliest form of maintenance. But as I told in the beginning, there are some equipment which are allowed to fail, which are of those category number C, that is run to failure. Am I correct? Run to failure equipment which are allowed to fail. It will not affect the main operation or the main requirement of a organization. So this is the corrective maintenance. Now coming to the next bullet is preventive maintenance, which is also very commonly known type of maintenance. So basically what we understand from the preventive maintenance, will you please share it?
Sir, preventive maintenance is to prevent the core machine breakdown.
Right, very correct, very correct. But this is another point which I want to add it, that it is performed based on the calendar, means some time is fixed. Suppose I want to take it in the January 2023 with a 6-month frequency, the next frequency will fall in the June 2023. So some calendar date is given to carry out that preventive maintenance, and sometime operating time interval is also mentioned. The machine has to operate for say these many operating hours, then only we carry out the maintenance. So it is a fixed time interval or a based on the time or given based on the calendar. So this is basically to extend the life of the equipment and to prevent the premature failure. See, first above bullet is the corrective maintenance, which I want to avoid it. For that purpose, preventive maintenance is taken care to utilize this strategy. Or usually preventive maintenance, regularly scheduled inspection, it covers scheduled inspection or testing, services, repair, replacement, or other tasks to prevent the unexpected failure. Suppose a rotating equipment is there and they want to check it thoroughly that it should not fail. Suddenly vibration should increase and it should not fail. So that is the preventive maintenance. And usually manufacturer of the equipment, they give such activity and their frequency in their manufacturer manual. Certainly it is a better option than corrective maintenance, preventive maintenance. Am I correct? Right. So next is now coming to little bit of the higher technology base or PDM or predictive maintenance. Predictive maintenance, as the word says, predictive means something we want to, we are going to predict what is going to happen. So can anybody share it, what they understand by this predictive maintenance? Because everywhere, every organization is not doing this activity. Certainly large scale organization or medium scale organization can afford to do it, but it is certainly a higher type of maintenance strategy. So can anybody share it? What is the understand by the predictive maintenance?
The abnormal sound may be due to running machine from bearing can cause breakdown in machine. So we can predict that, this machine can fall under breakdown due to abnormal sound.
You are you're correct, but prediction also should be towards accuracy. See, vibration has increased, but how much it will increase, which when it will reach to the failure. So for that, diagnostic techniques are given to check that thing.
Sir, predictive maintenance can be determined on the basis of past machine performance.
Very correct. History also, it will tell. Past machine performance means history. This machine has failed for within a 6 month. So one should be able to cautious on a 5th month. Yeah, this time has come. We have to be very much cautious. So history, technology used to diagnosis what is going to happen, how much time it will be able to give, because ultimately availability of the machine is important aspect. So prediction should be towards accuracy. So in a more defined way, I should say it is a process that requires technology in the diagnostic techniques, people's skill. It should not that a person, anybody can do it. Prediction can be done. See, if we go to now, I'll once again give an example of our human body. If you go to the doctor, he will check all the parameters, our blood test, our BP, our ECG, and everything. Based on that, he tell us, and he diagnose the thing, and he treat us accordingly. The machine also required a technology to diagnose the problem and the skill with a skill, and to integrate all available equipment conditions indicator. See, so vibration has increased, whether temperature has also increased along with that thing, whether sound has also increased along with that thing, whether some loosening of bolt is also found along with this thing. So these are all equipment conditions indicator. From where it will come? From the operator data. We can discuss it from the operator, what you have found it when the vibration is increased, whether it was a sudden or a knocking sound or a smooth increment, what is there, and the design knowledge of the important equipment. It should, whether the equipment, how it will perform in that condition. Suppose the vibration has increased, whether it is permitted by the manufacturer, this is the range of the vibration, it is permitted. So these are the design knowledge, and it gives a timely decision about the maintenance, so that one can plan, prediction can be done, and one can plan the maintenance activity based on that thing, and accordingly shutdown can be obtained, outage can be obtained, whether it can be clubbed with the, say, power supply. Suppose that area there is a load shedding is there, whether we can wait till that time the load shedding take place, then the whole industry will be down, so that maintenance can be done, or whether we have to take immediate action. I like to share one small incident or my experience, or what I have seen. See, I was there in the nuclear power station during the commissioning stage, and unit auxiliary transformer, which is a 35 MVA, very big transformer. And suddenly we used to carry out dissolved gas analysis. Dissolved gas analysis is basically, who is electrical engineer, they should be able to understand. It gives various gases inside the transformer oil, and it will give the condition, whether high temperature condition is there, fault is there, what sort of thing. So dissolved gas analysis, pre-charging and post-charging, there is some increment we are finding. And that increment was showing there is something wrong inside, which is causing the high temperature rise, and CO2 and carbon monoxide gas accumulation is there. And now it need to be taken out, because unit auxiliary transformer, if you take out, then whole power station has to be shut down. But within a decided thing, that we have taken outage after, say, 15 days, called that in a systematically manner, we have requested manufacturer to come, and in his presence the transformer was opened, and a small loose contact was found inside the on-load tape changer, which was located inside the transformer body. And usually transformer comes in a packed condition, it is not visible. Something might have taken either during the transportation, or during at the manufacturing stage itself, some fault might have remained there and which has caused. So here, using the diagnostic technology of the dissolved gas analysis, we could catch the fault in timely manner and we could save the transformer. Otherwise, one day the transformer, a very costly transformer, might have failed and unnoticed if you don't do that type of condition monitoring or predictive maintenance strategy if you adopt it. So this is a small thing which I've told. Now, in the beginning, some of the audience has told that history. So point is also there. So now I'll tell that what are the things covered in that predictive maintenance is the diagnostic and performance data. Diagnostic things means various type of techniques available, and that diagnostic techniques like sometime it is online, sometime it is offline. Like vibration measurement, we are repeatedly talking about the vibration, like shock pulse meter. Shock pulse meter is also another thing, SPM, which gives about that indication of cage failure or bearing some failure. Then ferrography of the lubricating oil. This also gives an indication about that what is failed inside the lubricating oil. Or thermography. Thermography will indicate about the temperature rise. Say in electrical equipment, thermography is a technique utilized for finding out the loose connection. Or dissolved gas analysis. Just now I have shared one incident, and insulation checks using the 10 delta and capacitance test. These are some diagnostic techniques which is being utilized for the purpose of finding that problems inside an equipment. But certainly this strategy need to be adopted when the equipment is very, very important for the enterprises organization, or it is very costly, its failure will take place. If failure will take place, it will take a very long lead time, industry will be down for a long period. So we have to adopt this strategy based on the importance of the equipment. So as I told, that diagnostic and performance data, then operator log data. Just now I have discussed that during the walk down, what the operator has logged the data. Maintenance histories, what was the history earlier, as somebody has told from the audience also. And our ultimate goal is to optimize the reliability and availability of the equipment by determining the requirement of maintenance based on the equipment condition. So its another name is given condition monitoring. So what strategy I have given you, PDM or predictive maintenance, is certainly involved cost, and maybe a small scale enterprises may not be able to afford it, but there are in the open market, there are experts are available who can, a rate contract can be finalized with them. They can come down and carry out routinely some maintenance so that their main production will not get affected and equipment remain in a healthy condition, or unknown faults should not come, which will cause to the failure of the equipment and stoppage of the industry. Next bullet is, am I able to explain predictive maintenance clearly, or any question is on the predictive maintenance from audience?
Okay, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Am I able to explain clearly that what is the predictive maintenance?
Hello.
Are you able to hear it?
Yes,
Are you able
yes, you have elaborately, adequately expressed predictive
Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good morning. I'm Dr. Parekh here. The
Yeah, good morning, Dr. Parekh.
In India, we have a very bad culture of the preventive maintenance. We don't believe in the preventive maintenance. As you mentioned, the small manufacturers, particularly in the dairy and food industry, about preventive maintenance, they don't keep any spare part, anything. And at the last moment, there is a breakdown, there is a loss of product, manpower, everything. So for the small scale or the small plants, how to cultivate this culture of preventive maintenance in a big scale? Because we find there is no culture of preventive maintenance in India, particularly the process industry, food industry, dairy industry, which products are very perishable. But still, they don't understand. So I want your comment and suggestion. Thank you.
Dr. Parekh, I want to tell that your statement cannot be a generalized statement for all. All depends. In the beginning, I have told you the properly aligned management. I have used the word properly aligned management. Means first there are many reasons. One thing is that the culture is not there. Why the culture has come? Because culture has come because if some failure take place and that importance of that failure is not given, always there is a pressure on a maintenance staff to you replace the equipment or you carry out your corrective maintenance as early as possible, but they don't understand why it has failed. For that, the role of a person responsible for carrying out maintenance as well as their management will take place. They should be able to convey that message. If we don't do our required maintenance, if we don't follow that thing, then certainly it will lead to the stoppage of machine or it will affect the entire production. As you yourself is telling, the culture is not there. That cannot be generalized, in my opinion. Cannot be generalized. I will cover whatever your question is raised in the subsequent slides. Also, some points will come about that thing also. So, Dr. Parekh, you can wait for some more time. I am going to cover that aspect also. But let me finish this maintenance strategies. So, coming to the next is the outage management. Outage management, what anybody can understand, means there is sometime there is a requirement of taken outage due to the mandatory requirement by the law. Sometime that boiler has to be maintained in such and such period. That requirement is a mandatory requirement. Sometime it is forced requirement, like there is a weekly power shutdown or power shedding is there in that area in that industrial area. Then all the machine will be out. So outage has to be taken, and for that, during that period has to be utilized for the purpose of maintenance. So that I mean to say is the outage management. Am I able to make it clear?
Yes.
Yes.
So maintenance activities planned during scheduled outage, either due to this mandatory requirement power cut, need thorough planning. See, whole week is available to, suppose there is a weekly load shedding requirement is there, and the small scale unit has to be shut down during that period. So the planning has to be done, that manpower has to be organized accordingly during that outage period, material has to be organized, spares has to be organized, and all things has to be properly planned before carrying out that outage activities. And this is basically a very big subject for a power station, because power station outage usually takes for a period of say 30 days, where the whole unit will not be generating the power, and the period has been allotted to the maintenance staff to carry out that outage work. For that thorough planning, even sometime more than 6-month period before the planning starts. So I'm not covering that big outage management, but a small industries, for a medium industry, it may not be that much. It may be for a few hours, or it may be for 1 or 2 days, not more than that. So many tasks, tasks has to be completed in parallel in a defined and a very short period. It required high level of coordination. Suppose there are so many maintenance activities are there. Electrical man will do electrical maintenance, mechanical man will do mechanical maintenance, instrumentation man will do instrumentation maintenance, and many people are doing in parallel activities. So it requires a good coordination. Otherwise, it will lead to some industrial accident scenario in a shutdown state also, because one man is doing that should not create a situation, unsafe situation for the industry or from some other fellow. I like to share one incident. Practically, I have come across that incident in a cement industry. In a cement industry, when beginning I have joined the cement industry for a very small period. That time that incident take place, the outage was planned for a clinker grinding machine that is called exactly I do not know, but that is a clinker is basically some grinding requirement is there in the cement industry, and for that iron balls of the different sizes are used in the rotating equipment and rotating cylinder side sort of a thing. an electrical man was carrying out certain maintenance activity on a starter, and in between, a mechanical man has sent people inside that rotating machine to check that replacement of the ball. And during testing purpose, without knowing that somebody is inside, that person, electrical man, has tested it, and during the test it is started. You can understand what might have taken place. It was a very big incident, and organization has to face a lot of bad thing from all mandatory people for that thing, to answer that thing. So a lot of coordination is required to carry out this outage maintenance activities also. And for that, my suggestion is there, always a coordinator shall be there who take care about this aspect of different maintenance agencies. Coordinator is very much necessary. Sometime we require some outside outsourced people also. They don't understand the importance of or our system or a industry. What is there? Some outsourced people, they will, suppose a UPS man is there or a starter man is there, electrical man is there. He only understand about his starter, but he do not understand the process requirement. So here the coordinator role comes in picture, who only will take care about that aspect. Last, not last, that is second last, is that life cycle management plan. Again, this is basically a very big topic, and usually for the large scale organization, this is more applicable, and but equally applicable for a small scale as well as medium scale also, that life cycle management. I think this, again, I want to listen from audience, what they understand from the life cycle management with respect to the equipment. I think very good audience are there.
Life cycle means for a machine particular, the life cycle means the life of the tools or life of the parts of machine or life of the maintenance management system is also considered in that.
Up to certain extent, you are correct, but here in a maintenance strategy means I should say for a equipment. Boundaries, of course, we have to decide that equipment is mounted in a system. So equipment, when it is supposed to go fail or means it is beyond maintenance, suppose aging is also another factor. For that purpose, we want to understand that what is the remaining life of that equipment. That is the mean. So I will give in. It is a basically long range plan for preventive maintenance, replacement. Sometimes we require to be replacement also, refurbishment, redesign on equipment important for the safety, reliability, and one that optimizes the contribution to the plant values. It is not supposed to be done by each and every equipment. Again, for the category A equipment, which is important to the enterprises, that only has to be done for that purpose. Like these considerations, as you told just now, some equipment, maintenance management, but I'll tell you, there are certain things which are to be considered, like system boundaries. Suppose there is a equipment, there is a electrical breaker is there, and breaker is going to fail, it will affect the entire system, and whole system will become dead. So that we can carry out for that breaker, which is a very costly equipment, as well as it will affect the system. The system also is not tolerable. Failure of the system as well as breaker failure are also not tolerable. So for that, the system boundaries has to be set. This particular breaker can be changed so that it will improve the life of the entire system. So critical component, like breaker is a critical component in that particular. I'm just giving for the example, may not be necessary for applicable for all, but we have to understand what is the criticality of that component or equipment and its function, material, and services. For what purpose it is there, its service. So here the compilation of industry operating experience. Some we have to keep our updated knowledge that this particular breaker is having life of say 20 years. Other organizations also are seen that after 18 year, 19 year, it suddenly fails. It is not beyond operation. It cannot be repaired. So for that purpose, we have to get that industry operating experience also. This is also one of the important facts. And performance evaluation. Its performance is deteriorating in such a way that its maintenance is also not giving required output, and it is failing again and again. Technical obsolescence. Technical obsolescence means, I'll give an example. One particular company, suppose I'll give an example of one company has supplied one system or one equipment to the organization, and that after say 5 years or 10 years, that company closes it, that technology, and switch over to some other technology, and that no person is available, no drawing is available, no support person is available, nothing is there, no spare is available. So now what to do with the organization? There is it is called technical obsolescence. Means until unless the organization is having knowledge, they will carry out the maintenance. Beyond that, suppose it is not possible, we can't avail the services of that manufacturer. So it is technical obsolescence, and we have to take care. Then historic and predicted failure rates. Again, that predictive maintenance will also give that it is beyond repair, going to beyond repair after 1 year or after 2 years. So that is the historic data also say, and failure rate also say. Then again, we have to predict lost production because of the failure. Suppose this particular component or particular equipment fails, how much it will affect the total production loss. All this thing, this whatever consideration I have told, if we take care, then we go for redesigning of that particular equipment by replacing. And of course, here economical aspect also to be taken care. Replacement should be compatible with that entire system. It should not happen we bring such a equipment which is not compatible to the system. So entire thing is called life cycle management plan, and it is supposed to be done for the most critical equipment only and most vulnerable equipment of the system. That is, I mean to say about that life cycle management plan. Each and every equipment we need not to do it. It is for only critical equipment. Am I clear in explaining?
Yes, yes.
Right, sir. So, yeah, please.
It is clear, sir.
Okay, okay. Again, I will like to say that for a small scale or for a medium scale, very few equipment, this strategy need to be adopted. We need not to adopt this for each and everything. And last bullet in my this maintenance strategy is the effective maintenance program. Effective maintenance program, as word is used, effective. What does it mean?
The extent to which planned results will achieve.
Exactly. Our maintenance activity should be result oriented. It should not happen we go on doing the maintenance, but the still equipment is failing. So result is not there. So maintenance program shall be effective. Maintenance frequency should be effective. Maintenance, our philosophy or our strategy has to be effective. Then only it will be useful. Otherwise, it's a waste of money and time. So it should be result oriented and performing. Again, minimum here I will want to state that thing, performing minimum amount of maintenance that ensure the maximum equipment reliability and availability. There are two things I use, reliability and availability. Both thing has to be ensured. Equipment system should not fail on its own because of certain equipment failure. So with carrying out performing a minimum amount of maintenance, some more maintenance does not necessarily mean that higher equipment reliability. I want to make it very clear. More maintenance does not mean that thing. See, there are positive effect as well as negative effect both. Positive effect, what are the positive effect? SSC means our structure, system and component perform its function and problems are detected before failure. That is the positive thing in a preventive maintenance. Just now, Dr. Parikh has shared that thing. Preventive maintenance is not done regularly and causing the failure. So, if carry out the preventive maintenance, it will the sudden failure will not take place, and the system component and our structure are reliable and safe. These are the positive effect. But remember, there are some negative effect of the maintenance also. What you can understand from the negative effect? Before telling, I want to listen from the audience. Negative effect of the maintenance.
Which does not fulfill the intended aspect from top management or management.
Yeah, this is one of the point. But when the equipment is opened for maintenance, what are the chances that there are some foreign components or contaminants can go inside the equipment? Very big equipment, if you open it, suppose you open a transformer for maintenance, there are chances that some external things entered in the transformer, and subsequent to the maintenance the transformer fails. It can happen. So there are always chances of foreign material inclusion if we carry out the unnecessary maintenance. If necessary maintenance is there, we have to open it up and carry out the maintenance with due care. But repeatedly, if we carry out certain thing, these are the one of the negative effect. Another thing is disassembly and assembly problem. Every equipment is not easy to open and reassemble, because while opening and while reassembling it can happen. There are while opening, there are some number of hardwares were found, but while reassembly we still find some hardwares are remaining there. We are unable to put it back. It can happen. So assembly and disassembly problem also one of the negative effect. And of course, safety is also another fact. If you open up a big equipment, heavy equipment, there are chances of unsafe situation. So we have to optimize our frequency, or we have to optimize our maintenance requirement. That is, in nutshell, I want to say that our maintenance program should be effective, result oriented, and it should be economical and as per the need of the organization. So with this, I will switch over to the next slide. Resource management. See, for a maintenance person of an organization, we require tools and test equipment. Of course, it can be tools and test equipment can be of various types, but we can categorize the tools and test equipment in two categories. One is that normal tools and test equipment. Another is special tools and test equipments. Normal tools and test equipment is usually should be available all the time with a permanent staff who is there, either a operator who is doing maintenance or a maintenance staff, maintenance person. He should always carry that normal tools and test equipment. But there are certain special tools or test equipment which is very costly and cannot be handled by each and everyone. Expertise is required. So there are two things. If organization is having their facility to keep it a common specialized tools and test equipment in a common place, like tool crib, or say with the engineer custody or with the supervisor custody, it can be done. Or it can be given a rate contract can be entered with some expert organization. Suppose I'll give an example. There is a failure of the cable. How much time how many times it happens? Very rarely, sometime it happens, and we want to trace that cable fault. Do we require to keep that costly test equipment with organization? People will forget it, how to use it. Suppose you purchase it and keep it in the custody of the organization, and people don't know how to use it. And another thing is the technical variation take place. Some new things has come in the market. So it is better always to go with a rate contract with some expert agencies. Their person will come and carry out that specialized testing. Say cable fault ho gaya, or say very big equipment like diesel generator, very big size diesel generator is there, not easy to maintain. For that purpose, some specialization agency can be outsource, and for that we can use that thing, their services. Tools and test equipment, as there is some calibration need is also there, and it is ISO requirement also. Depending on the size of the industry, they can do it. Some level also is awarded to the test equipment, level 1, level 2, level 3. So level 1 is basically very accurate type of equipment, and that accuracy checking or calibration has to be done from some NABL accredited laboratory. That can be done, but again, it is based on that size of the industry, if you want to keep that much, or otherwise they can ensure from the outsourced agency whether their test equipment is calibrated from NABL or not. Means they can ensure it in a contract condition. That can be done. Another thing is that degraded and damaged or out of calibration tools and test equipment, that also need to be disposed of on a regular basis as per the organization guideline. Suppose it is outsourced, certainly you will not allow it to use out of calibration instrument. So outsourced equipment, that is the another benefit. Okay, they will be able to produce all the documents saying that it is a not out of calibration and it is an duly calibrated equipment or calibrated test equipment. Another is spares and consumable. Achha, I want to ask one thing from again from the audience. Do we need codification for identification of spares and consumable? Do we need codification? Or it is okay that without codification it's okay? I'll share you one example. In an organization, supervisor says to the workman, go to the store, and near to the door, the second almirah is there. In that yellow color bottle is there. On that you will find some spares which are kept, and bring it. Will it serve the purpose?
No, codification is required.
Yeah, it is required because this type of situation can take place. Somebody might have changed it. So codification will certainly help to the maintenance agency or to the organization that this right spare can be utilized at the time, or right consumable is utilized for that time. It should maintenance requirement. It should not happen that something which is anything can be utilized and it will lead to the failure of the equipment. So codification is necessary for easy and better identification of the spares and consumable. Again, storage instruction. It can be stored in a small store, in a big store. Depending on the size of the industry, stores are prepared where that usually the consumable and spares are kept. Suppose we don't give instruction to the store responsible person of the store, what will happen? See, I'll give you an example. Rubber component. Rubber component, if you keep it in a not in controlled temperature condition, say very high temperature, then it will deform. And that O-rings and other thing, if you want to utilize this for some replacement purpose, by the time its requirement will come, it will lose its property. So the proper instruction, or it's again walked down by the concerned engineer in a store, that where their consumable spares are kept correctly or not. That is also necessary. So storage instruction to the store authority. And another thing is the careful selection of product after the thorough testing. I'll give you one example, practical example. It happened. I was looking after the maintenance, and being electrical man, many supplier used to come to me that this is my contact cleaner, and you use it and it is good. This is my contact cleaner. Several type of, means 1,000 or 100 type of contact cleaners are available in the market. And one thing has happened, one person engineer has taken a sample out of that thing and has utilized his contact cleaner, and contact cleaner, in addition to the contact cleaner, it is giving some lubricating film also inside the contact or within the contact. So it has caused the failure of the system, that relay did not function it, because the technician or the workman who is utilizing that contact cleaner may not be knowing. He think that my engineer might have purchased it a good quality contact cleaner, it will behave as per the need, but it has happened. So what I mean to say, that careful selection of the product after thorough testing, it should not happen. Anybody will approach and say, you purchase my product, they will come. So before that, one has to carefully examine what are the properties and use it, test it, then only use it. That I mean to say. Third bullet is that inventory management. Approved list of spares and consumable with maxima and minima need to be kept. Maxima and minima, what I mean to say, we need not to store it large quantity. We have to keep it certain minimum maximum amount. Beyond that, we need not to purchase it. Rather than, it is better to go entered with a rate contract if it is feasible. In big city, this is feasible, but suppose it is a remotely placed organization, sometime it become difficult. So they store it, some minimum required thing, and so that emergency can be met out. So it's again work also we can outsource it. And here outsourcing, the next bullet, what it says, that we can give the work contract depending on the requirement. We can give the work contract for the usual work and for the specialized work. Sometimes usual work is being done by the staff itself, but extraordinary or the special work has to be given to the outsourcing. And for that, the person who is coming to carry out the maintenance also should be trained that what if they are entering in our organization, in our premises, what take care he has to take about the system. As I told the story of that person who has come for maintenance of a starter, leading to the fatality incident of that industry. So while outsourcing of the work, other than finalizing the contract condition, the training to the workmen of the outside person is also very, very important. It can be of different length, but depending on the need, it has to be given. The training has to be given to the outsourced work people also. Now coming to the human resource development. As material, I have just now spoken, resource management, human is also one of the important aspects which need to be developed for a perfect or good maintenance activity. So the training is also one of the important thing. Normally maintenance is such a topic which is normally not taught in the universities or in any of the institute. This is basically learned on the job only. So these are specialized training need to be given at the time of recruitment, and subsequently at a certain period with a periodicity regular interval also. And it can be arranged in-house depending on the size, and it can be arranged outsourced training also depending on the need. But training due importance has to be given. Then only, as I told in the beginning, that mechanic driver cum mechanic module, in that it is an investment on the training of that person, then rather than expenditure. So training is one of the important thing for the human resource development. And during the training, there are certain fundamentals of the maintenance engineering is taught. That is equipment performance. There are various parameters are available to judge whether equipment is performing nice or not. It is a very wider topic, but equipment performance, how to improve that equipment performance, how to judge, how to monitor the equipment performance, this is the fundamental thing which is to be taught to a maintenance person. And identify and promote the plant health improvement. It is not only that equipment health, it should be overall system or a plant equipment health improvement also should be in the blood of that maintenance man. He should be identify that if we take care about this particular critical component, it will improve and plant health, and it will not stop that unnecessary production. Third thing is that communicate effectively and advise management. Communicate effectively means what has happened, how it has happened in a prediction maintenance. One should be able to give very accurately, correctly, if you don't do it, what is going to happen, and if you do it, what expenditure will take place, what resources will be needed, what manpower will be needed, and how much time will be needed. All this thing has to be communicated effectively by a maintenance person and advised to the management so that they can take a right decision for giving them opportunity to carry out the maintenance activity. And gaining expertise applicable to the responsibilities. Suppose that particular person should be given enough opportunity during the training or through in-house or outsource, that he should become an expert for that, depending on his responsibility. Electrical man should be expert in his field, mechanical man should be expert in his field, and that has to be given during the training. Now, maintaining questioning attitude and technical independence. I want to ask the audience what they understand from the maintaining questioning attitude and technical independence. Can anybody say a few words about questioning attitude and technical independence?
By this, the positive outcome is came, and which will be helpful for new ideas and innovations.
That is correct outcome, but questioning attitude means the person, maintenance person, should be asked the question from his superior. Why this maintenance means he should be encouraged to ask the question. He should not keep only instruction is given to you, carry out this, carry out that. Why it has to be carried out? That attitude has to be developed in a maintenance person, and the person should be capable to do the maintenance after understanding the requirement. So that is a technical independence. He should not depend on somebody else for carrying out that maintenance. That I mean to say, and during the training, this attitude has to be developed. Next point is that participative approach. During that technical discussion, it should not happen, it should have one-way communication. It should be participative, means they should listen from the, as well as they should give their views also, and they should be participative in their discussion. This I mean to say, for that means for a human resource, these all aspect has to be, to develop that thing, this all aspect has to be taken care. Work management. This is basically again depending on that organization requirement. Work planning and execution. Normally, production man gives an executive summary on the basis it is better to give in writing. Okay, what are the operation parameter, other than operation parameter, what are the deficiency observed, and certain deficiency he need not to wait for the next day to general shift to come. They will invite that, or they will call that person on call duty and attend the equipment to avoid the stoppage of the machine. So the work planning and execution usually done by the maintenance man, and whatever the deficiency reports come in his notice or its preventive maintenance schedule, they will plan it, and accordingly after the permission given by the concerned production man, they can carry out the job activity. Here I want to say something about the work permit system. Work permit system, although sometimes it is treated as a hindrance, why paper is required. But whenever some accident take place, that paper will play a very important role. So the work permit is, again, a production man should know how many people are working, how many what equipment they have opened, and what is the effect of that equipment outage on the entire system, whether standby is available, all these things. So work permit play a very important role, and it should be given due importance. Again, quality assurance. Quality assurance, a maintenance person in their maintenance activity, sometimes they want to check it within themselves, or through some peer check, or through a QA department, depending on the size and requirement. The quality assurance has to be, so that whatever maintenance they carry out, that should not be a repeat work. Repeat work should not take place. That is very bad for the maintenance person. Post-maintenance check, once the activity has been completed, before taking back the equipment in service, Maintenance man will carry out the post-maintenance check, and he will hand over the equipment, surrender the work permit, and operation man or production man will check its operability before bringing it into service. One of the important slide is human performance tool. Can anybody share what do you mean by the human performance tools? Okay, human performance tool, basically fundamental purpose of human performance tool is to help the engineer or knowledge the worker to maintain positive control of a work situation, especially during critical tasks or activities. It should not go out of control. So they should know it, and use of these tools afford the workman an opportunity to avoid potential pitfalls and worst case outcome. So some of the things which are I have listed down, pre-job briefing. Before starting of the job, the superior has to discuss with the supervisor before awarding the job. He should convey what is the job requirement, the pre-job briefing, and it is to prepare individual for the work that is to be accomplished by the workman, and to sensitize the worker on what to avoid and to identify and compensate the error likely situation during the work, error likely situation that could lead to jeopardizing the plant or person. And during pre-job briefing, normally exchanges are taking place. Exchange means, again, it should not be one way, it should be two way. Means worker as well as superior both have to, worker also should have a questioning attitude. And so during pre-job briefing, information exchange are the potential hazards, critical steps, risk important parameters, error likely situation, and their potential consequences before starting a work. Next bullet is questioning attitude. I have already discussed in detail what is the questioning attitude. It should be workman should involve in the discussion, and he should ask very clearly if something is not clear. Nothing is to be kept on the assumption. Industrial safety issue, personal and equipment, that has to be included in their pre-job briefing, that safety issues. Foreign material exclusion. Foreign material exclusion, foreign material basically is which is not a part of a system. In a lubricating oil, suppose some debris are there, some metal chips are there, ultimately it will affect that lubricating property of that oil. So foreign material exclusion is one of the important aspect, which is again a human performance tool, a very important human performance tool, and he should be encouraged to take care that nothing should enter during the work execution, and for that housekeeping is one of the important aspect for achieving that foreign material exclusion. Procedure adherence. Procedures are prepared basically very cool-minded. It should not happen that during the work when the equipment is open, we are looking for what to do. So procedures adherence is giving a good human performance tool to the workman. Self-checking means individual, whatever he do, whether it is correct or not, it's called self-checking. One of the activity usually is known as in a big industries, it is written there, STAR. STAR means stop, think, act, and review. It's a self-checking characteristics. Stop, think, act, and review. Whatever you have done, it is correct or not. Another is concurrent verification. Concurrent verification, whenever two workmen are working in a procedure itself, it is told one person is carrying out, suppose a hardware tightness checking there. One person check it. He asks another man, he also check it and confirm, yes, it is perfectly all right. Peer checking. Peer checking means it is basically a informal type of check giving to some other expert or some other person who is working in the side by side. You are requested to come and check whether I have properly tightened or not. My hardware is properly tightened or not. This is one of the example. Any peer checking means it's an informal request to some other agency and independent verification. Basically, this concurrent verification, peer checking, independent verification, all are QA checks. Independent verification means a person who is another expert who carry out the checking independently. All this thing is to ensure the after the equipment maintenance, the equipment is perfectly maintained and it will maintenance will be effective and it will not give failure subsequently. Failure mechanism. Failure mechanism is basically it is a curve. You can see the curve is there, starting in the beginning, time versus the increased failure. So starting, there are chances some of the equipment are failing more. Why? Because the initial failure rate is more because maybe installation error, maybe manufacturing fault, but it decreases with the time it is attended. And usually normal life is a life which can be extended using the our preventive maintenance checks or any other maintenance strategy, whatever told. And at the end of the life, where we have to manage the life management, is the wear out is increasing and the time has come either for replacement of equipment or so that is a simple bathtub curve is about that hypothetically failure rate versus the time. It is about the failure mechanism. Now, electrical, just I have listed down. This is the which can affect the failure. Temperature rise, as the photograph is indicating that there is some loose contact, contaminants. As I told in my transformer event, some contaminants have ingress inside the transformer oil, which can cause moisture. Again, it will deteriorate that quality of the our transformer oil. Or stress can be voltage stress or any other stress which can affect. Aging, again, aging is the which can affect that performance of the electrical equipment. Error can be by the design itself, it is not correctly designed, suitable for the system. Operational error during the carrying out operation or production man can create certain error. Asynchronous closing of the breaker may lead to the failure of the breaker contacts. And maintenance, during the maintenance also people can create an problem, these errors. I think with the time constant, because time is running out, I will just fast go through it. This is okay, na?
You can continue.
Okay. So now it is the problem solving. Problem means a maintenance man is going to face problems. So there are certain techniques given for a problem solving. Troubleshooting. Basically, it is a systematic approach for symptoms and data collection. A maintenance man will ask what has happened during the night time when the equipment has failed. What are the symptoms? And what are the data you have noted down before failure, after failure? It can be automatic data using that some of the equipment tell before failure, what was the current shape, what was the voltage shape, another thing. So data collection and failure analysis, why it can fail, and testing and measurement plan. To confirm the equipment failure, there are certain testing and measurement plan. So it will give, the troubleshooting will give high confidence that complete cause of system and equipment degradation has been conducted and system equipment has been restored to the normal operation after the troubleshooting. There are another thing is apparent cause evaluation. This is basically a very simple sort of a thing. We can carry out why equipment might have failed. Some water has fallen on the motor and it can lead to the insulation failure. The apparent cause, clear-cut cause is available there that because of the water falling on the motor, it has failed and insulation has failed. And train only problem. Suppose there are certain problems where we need not to go in much in depth. Only say indication lamps are failing of control room, very frequently failing, and that only how many times it has failed, that trend only has to be carried out. And corrective action program, we carry out corrective action of the trended problem. We need not to give much importance to that thing, but at the end, thorough analysis has to be done. Why the that indication lamps are failing again and again, whether our purchase product is good, bad, or our voltage is on higher side, or what may be the reason. So in that, a perfect corrective action plan is program is prepared. So last problem solving is the root cause analysis. Usually root cause analysis is done for a critical component only. It need not to be done for each and everything. So root cause analysis is why this has happened, and there are various techniques are given. I can speak in detail, but there's time constant is there. But root cause analysis is done for a only critical equipment. We need not to do it for each and every equipment. Plant health improvements. Again, as I have told, that continual improvements. A maintenance person role is very, very important for anything which is good for the organization, good for the system, good for the industry. There should be a continual improvement in their use techniques as well as use components and use equipments. Then innovative techniques, as I had already told. Sustainable solution. The equipment should not fail again and again. There should be solution for the maintenance person, should be given a sustainable solution. Engineering changes, sometimes it require that component or equipment will not be suiting to that required system. For that, changes are required to avoid that incident to repeat. And advise management, as repeatedly I told, and it has to be clearly and thing. I think there is a raised hand from Dr. Kataria. Last slide is the documentation for the maintenance. These are just simple a list. Manufacturer manual, we should be able to keep it. Maintenance procedure and checklist, equipment identification code, latest drawing, maintenance history, maintenance report, outage reports, engineering change records, and spares inventory. These all things are basically, if we keep it, a maintenance person, it will be useful for his activities. With this, I will like to stop my presentation on this maintenance management. Yes, Dr. Kataria, you would say something.
Yeah, very good afternoon, Mr. Gajendra Jaipuria ji.
Yes, sir.
And thank you for providing such a exhaustive maintenance philosophy and all the details. And really, it has been very nice. You covered almost all the aspects which are there. And within such a given short time, you could share your experience, and I'm sure the delegates would very much benefit from the presentation. Of course, it is very important that performance of any manufacturers or organization or any power station or offshore structure, offshore platforms, or any, especially, are you getting me? Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, sir, we are getting you.
Yeah, okay. So especially small scale industries, as you have been focusing, that's very important. And we have seen that they always try to shortcut and don't want to spend money. And you have also told that chalta hai attitude. The attitude problem is also there. And they don't realize if they don't do proper maintenance, quality of product is very much affected. The performance is very much affected. Your rejection rate goes very high, and you are spending more money than you are saving it. So these are the good things which you have told. And I was right, very much seen those things which you have been. And even we have seen an offshore platform. if you don't have proper maintenance, so we have seen the breakdowns are very frequent. And if you don't do the preventive maintenance timely and annual maintenance and other things, so that also affects it. And plus life cycle also you covered it. And it's important during the life cycle, you have to really take care of the equipment. Like this, I can give you example, like the offshore rigs or rigs which are used in onshore for oil and gas. And we have seen these rigs are working almost 30, 40 years. But how it is working effectively? If you see is a psychology or the philosophy, because the rotary equipment does not last more than 5 years or 7 years. So they have to keep on refurbishing the rotary equipments, and including your lifting tackles and other things, wire ropes and everything, even your control systems and electrical systems that also need to be replaced timely. Then only you can extend the life cycle. So with this, I would like to, we can invite the delegates who have been attending this. If there are any questions, they can ask. My compliments to you and sparing your time and giving very good presentation indeed. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Gajendra sir, for the lovely presentation. You have shared all the knowledge. Thank you so much. And I request all, if there is any question, so you can ask. I think so. Jagdish sir has question. He has put his hand actually. He has raised his hand. Jagdish sir, you can unmute yourself and you can ask directly. Is there any question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can, you can hear my voice now?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, sir. We can
Yes.
hear you.
Yeah. Sir, I just wanted to incorporate in your training one called MTTR and MTBF value. That is for critical equipment, that is mean time to repair and mean time between failure. If like in ISO, what we are taught is objective for that department. If engineering department is given this objective for critical items, it will really help organization to monitor the performance of engineering department. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, इसमें क्या है sir, from ISO point of view, why should we insist on these two metrics? I mean, let us leave it to the organization, no? Matlab, I'm just for academic discussion, let the organization decide the metrics. They can also say कि I will have 4 predictive maintenance cycles this year. I'll have 2 preventive maintenance cycles. Matlab, let them decide the objective instead of imposing an objective. I don't know. Well, we can ask Gajendra ji. Gajendra ji, ऐसा कोई अपना objective था क्या?
I've addressed to him only.
Yeah. Matlab, I'm just asking Mr. Gajendra ki, did we have some objective in the nuclear sector, mean time between failure and all that? ऐसा कुछ था क्या?
There is, I would like to share in the nuclear industry, there is no such thing. The term has been taught for the maintenance purpose, but this is basically for a very, very critical equipment, like say, which has to be shut down for shutting down of the plant. That type of thing we have to take care, but not for each and every equipment. It's very, very critical equipment. It need to be considered. Diesel generator, which is required to come on demand. So that sort of a thing is to be done, but not for each and everything. Not very, very important thing, and this has to be decided by the maintenance department in consultation with the technical department. It has not to be given, imposed by any outside agency. This you include in your ISO certification need. It has to be decided based on the criticality.
It is from the top management point of view. If for critical machines only, I've talked already told. For critical machines, they could set this kind of objective to monitor the performance of engineering department.
Monitoring the performance of engineering department means the maintenance department performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can take up this question. If you see, it is very important to objectives. As Sharmaji also says, he is focusing the small industries where there are 2-3 machines and only hardly 10 people are working. So let's them decide whatever way they would like to have. But when we are talking about the chemicals or pharmaceutical medium scale organization, there they need to have some system, because like this, even we take the manufacturing of the machine components. If you are using CNC machine or turret machines, now you need to have good maintenance system to take care, unless those turret machines programming another thing which is added with the computer and the software. If you don't have regular check on those things, I'm sure the performance of those things may not be good. So
हाँ सब
let's,
let me I will just intervene here. देखिए इसमें दो बातें हैं. ये जगदीश जी ने जो पॉइंट उठाया है ना, आई थिंक there are two phases to it. One is the phase for MSME. One is the phase for huge industries like nuclear and NTPC, NPC and all that. So in companies में तो maintenance के जो ISO target, ISO objectives से भी ज्यादा बड़े objectives होते हैं maintenance related, predictive maintenance के अलग objectives हैं, preventive के अलग हैं, but for MSME, I think what he was saying, that makes some kind of practical sense, because they can have this objective depending on the, again, what is the past performance of much, whether they want to monitor the उनका ये कहना है, I know जगदीश जी जो बोल रहे हैं कि to monitor the performance of design department or engineering, we can have a objective like this. So since I mean, as an ISO body, what do you say, Mata Kataria sir?
yeah, wherever ISO says you should have proper working environment, as a part of the working environment, the maintenance also plays very important role. And we have certified number of dairy industries in Nepal, and we have seen the equipments are almost 30-40 years old, but then they have a lot of focus on the maintenance, because most important, like this water purification plant. If the water itself is polluted, it is not filtered properly, if the maintenance is poor there, so you are going to face problem with your final product.
So Dr. Parikh was giving a very general statement saying that this industry does not bother about maintenance. Is that really, is it true across all the pharma and food industry? They are not at all bothered and they don't have a culture at all.
Yeah, we are very lucky to have this Dr. Parikh Saab attending this program up to the end, and his observations are quite good, because that comes with the attitude or culture of the organization.
Yes, that's correct.
ये पर अब सब हाउ डू ये उन्होंने क्वेश्चन भी पूछा था, है क्या? आई थिंक वी कैन आस्क हिम टू रिपीट दैट क्वेश्चन कि सबके काम आएगा उसका डिस्कशन की कल्चर. अब ये कल्चर कैसे है एमएसएमई में, जो कंपनी चाहती नहीं है मेंटेनेंस करना, दे डोंट इवन रिपेयर टॉयलेट टैप्स, वो भी एक महीने तक लीक करते रहते हैं, मालूम है ना? हमने देखा था ना वहाँ वाडा में, और आपके साथ भी जब गए थे. मतलब even those washroom things are not repaired within one day. Yes. So
sir, I'll share one of my experience with one pharma company. One company is we were exporting to Latin America, Brazil, the IV products, ciprofloxacin infusion, and every month 2 containers were exported, and that Brazil management person wanted to visit the company, and when they come down from Brazil to Chennai, where I was vice president, then to Ahmedabad, near Ahmedabad this plant was there, and they speak in Portuguese, because they are not conversant with English, Latin American countries. He asked for the washroom. The security fellow by mistake showed him the workers' toilet. And it was so dirty, so smell.
वही तो
He rejected the plant seeing only workers' toilet. He
correct.
didn't audit the company and rejected the plant only because if the workers are like this, how I can get a good sterile product from this factory?
उसने सही किया, उसने सही किया, बिल्कुल सही किया actually. He did the right thing actually. Yeah. And वो कटारिया साहब can narrate that example, no? वो बोलता है कि where is the वो आपको Factories Act में you have to have a separate washroom for ladies because you have 5 ladies working in this factory. तो वो क्या बोलता है कि साहब ये है ना यही वाला हमारा एक ही टॉयलेट है वो लेडीज यूज करती हैं. तो बोलता सेग्रीगेशन कहाँ है? तो बोलता जब लेडी अंदर जाती है ना तो मैं बाहर आदमी खड़ा कर देता हूँ बोलता. दैट वाज हिज रिप्लाई, यू नो, कैन यू इमेजिन? कटारिया साहब को इतनी हंसी आई थी, मुझे याद है वो मतलब अब उसको क्या करें, रिजेक्ट करें कि एक्सेप्ट करें ISO सर्टिफिकेशन के लिए? दैट वाज अ बिग चैलेंज, यू नो, कि सच कंपनीज. सो यू कैन इमेजिन मींस. और एक साहब वो श्रीलंका वाले हैं जिसको हम लोगों ने इंसिस्ट किया कि तुम फीमेल हाइजीन प्रोडक्ट का डिस्पोजल के लिए भी अलग से बिन डालो इसमें, है ना, फॉर द हाइजीन प्रोडक्ट. एक तो डस्टबिन कॉमन है जिसमें आप कचरा वचरा कुछ भी डाल सकते हो, एंड सेकंड इज you have to have a special decontaminated bin where you have these females can dispose their hygiene products, you know. एक तरफ तो वो इंडस्ट्री है और एक तरफ ये इंडस्ट्री है कि बोलता है एक ही वॉशरूम है, उसी में लेडीज जाती है, उसी में वर्कर जाते हैं करके. सो इंडिया इज फुल ऑफ कॉन्ट्राडिक्शंस एक्चुअली. वो फारिक साहब आई थिंक ही वाज राइट, उनके ऑब्जर्वेशन में ऐसा भी हो रहा होगा कि मेंटेनेंस होता ही नहीं है, अगर कुछ ब्रेक डाउन हो गया तो ही मेंटेनेंस करो.
मेरे एक प्रेजेंटेशन में मैंने ये बताया था कि भी इसमें ना कल्चर एंड प्रॉपर्ली अलाइंड मैनेजमेंट, these two things play a very very important role to decide that maintenance strategy.
वेरी ट्रू, वेरी, आपने शुरू में बोल दिया था. करेक्ट करेक्ट. हाँ. एनी अदर क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम ऑडियंस? ज्योति कुछ है क्या चैट बॉक्स में?
No,
I
sir.
have one question.
या आप ऑडियो प्लीज करेक्ट योर ऑडियो. आई थिंक नईम वाज आस्किंग.
Yes, sir. Sometimes means industry purchasing old machines at that time.
नो यार, ये आपका नहीं आ रहा है ऑडियो. इज नॉट, आई थिंक द स्पीकर कैन नॉट. आप थोड़ा सा उसको ठीक कीजिए अपने कनेक्शन को. नहीं ज्योति, आर यू एबल टू हियर हिम?
No, sir. Actually,
You're
no.
not
There
able
is
to
some
hear.
network issue, I think so.
Yeah. Any other questions? Any from audience?
No, so there are no questions. in chat box
नेगी जी
also.
had come for some time. नेगी जी, आप कुछ पूछना चाह रहे थे क्या? I think he was there, but then he.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
आप
Very
बिल्कुल
much here.
जनरली आप एक क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं तो मैंने कहा आज आप द स्पीकर इज वेरी लर्नेड, यू नो, एंड एटलीस्ट
Yes,
आपका
yes,
क्वेश्चन
yes,
दूसरों के
नहीं,
काम
नहीं,
आएगा.
नहीं,
दूसरे लोग क्या
ये-
सोचते हैं कि मैं क्वेश्चन पूछूंगा तो मतलब पीपल विल लाफ एट माय क्वेश्चन. देयर इज नथिंग
Jaipuria
लाइक
sahab
दैट.
Jaipuria sahab has explained such a technical subject in a very, you can say, very simplified way. When I can understood what he has explained there. Yes, sir. Basically, नहीं, ये तो मतलब question to all questions is already asked and he is beautifully replied. So frankly speaking, no question is left there. It's already covered. His presentation.
I think on the administration side,
Uh,
as a service industry, what you expect for the maintenance? So I am putting a question to you.
हाँ, बिल्कुल सही कह रहे सब आप. गजेंद्र जी, कटारिया साहब wants some inputs for his own people in his own office, you know. सर्विस सेक्टर में हम क्या हमारा मेंटेनेंस को कैसे इम्प्रूव कर सकते हैं? आप इनको प्लीज एनलाइटन हिम.
Services should be improved, means on demand it should be clear immediately. That is the thing. And the criticalness also can be categorized where the services are means beyond the requirement, beyond that necessity. Sometimes people expect that there should be a good coffee maker, but without that also it can be work. So all depends on that again, what we want from them. For that, very clearly it has been told then that need to be maintained. This is my views. Again, I am not a very much familiar with this type of questions to answer. That's how to improve it for a administration sort of a thing. I'll not be able to answer this.
Generally, your photocopier breakdowns, your computer system breakdowns, the server system breakdowns. So what do you say about this equipment? Because these are also on the critical part for administration.
They are सब evenly. आपको पता है कि even हम जो अपने होम ऑफिस में भी जो यूज करते हैं ना हार्ड डिस्क भी फेलियर से पहले वो करता है, इंडिकेशन देता है कि आई एम गोइंग टू फेल नाउ. I have seen this. And if you don't pay attention at that time, you will end up losing 2 lakh rupees to retrieve that data, you know. And I have faced it actually. That's why I'm telling you. उसका भी बहुत जरूरी है. You know, I think.
Sharma ji, there is a preventive method that you can scan the disk where you can find that there is a bad sector are coming up. So such preventive maintenance can be done.
But again, whether it is required to be done for each and every computer, because that also need to be decided. Na?
Yes.
Right.
There are some plenty of computers are available in the organization. That doesn't mean that we have to do it for each and everything. And as Sharma ji has told, some data is already told or computer says in advance. One has to give attention so that the knowledge of the people, user, should be improved. That also will add that we need not to depend on that maintenance man. For a person who is using it, that also will give an good support.
No, there is a backup mechanism is there. Usually nowadays, all organizations who are relying on these means digital form of data, they have their backup system where their data is mirrored. Like we are also having here in our one server is there, of course, that server is there.
Backup server.
But same time the server data is mirrored in our separate hard disk. So that mechanism is there.
तब वो तो सुनिए नेगी जी, अभी आप रिस्क मैनेजमेंट पे चले गए. राइट नाउ वी आर एक्चुअली फोकसिंग ओनली ऑन मेंटेनेंस. अभी आप पहुंच गए दूसरे वाले उसमें टेरिटरी में कि आपने रिस्क मैनेजमेंट अच्छे से किया, मेरा बिजनेस प्रोसेस कंटिन्यूटी बराबर चलेगा. द ओनली थिंग इज right now somebody has written Naeem ने क्या electronic now prevailed for maintaining the. ज्योति पढ़ दीजिए नाइम का रिमार्क क्या लिखा है उन्होंने.
Electronic equipment, no repair is there. Electronics now prevailed. For maintaining the electronic part, any special guidelines are there?
This is a good question. यहाँ जी जाटपुरिया साहब जरा बताइए. Can there be some maintenance for electronic equipment in offices and homes and factories also?
My comment only saying that thing that something is we need not to go much in see our ultimate aim is that computer should be able to function it. If we go to the PCB level repair, it becomes a very costly affair. We need not to. It happens that hard disk suppose fail. Hard disk also some component might have failed, but we used to replace that hard disk because that is the time saving is also one of the important aspect, and as well as money saving. See, by doing that typical exercise of desoldering of the removing first of diagnosis of a component and doing that maintenance up to that level, that may not be required for such thing. That is my comment.
Great sir, great. चलो ठीक है.
So there are no questions in chat box also, and I think so.
So now from the audience side, we can thank the speaker, Mr. Gajendra Jadpuria. He has really taken great pains. You know, it is evident. As Negi ji said, to simplify this very, very boring subject, you know, sometimes it is boring, you know. If people do it very technically, it becomes boring, no doubt about it. So, इन्होंने मतलब इतना, and that shows the amount of hard work he has put into it, looking at the audience, you know. Yeah, back to Jyoti.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And once again, thank you, Gajendra sir. अपने बहुत अच्छे से presentation, like I think so सबको उनके questions, उनको answers मिले रहेंगे, जो भी उनको लगे रहते details चाहिए. So thank you so much, sir, for the lovely presentation. It was very simple to understand. So we got your point, we got our presentation. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So I'll just share my screen, sir.
Thank you.
Yes. So before this, I would like to say there is a session on 7th January 2023. So we will share with you all the details on Monday. So ICS is pleased to provide you all its research and development, integrated management system, QMS, EMS, and OSHAs, excellence in education management, ISO made easy in Gujarati, Marathi, Telugu, and Hindi. Feedback form. Please register on www.sadgunsang.org and go in your login and give feedback. On the behalf of the Sadgun Sangh team, I would like to express my gratitude to all the esteemed delegates of the webinar for their presence and contribution to make this webinar successful. Now we officially closing the session, but before that, I would like to say a Happy New Year, everyone. This is our last day of 2022, and again, I'm wishing you all Happy New Year. So now we are closing the session, sir.